What's going on, everyone? And ho ho ho, Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. That's right, it's that time again, and sorry we did take a little bit of a holiday break, but we are back and we will have our show every 2 weeks, and it has been an awesome kickoff to Season 2 of the Midwest Outdoors podcast. And although we love our new studio behind me, but there's just too much going on right now in the Midwest to just sit here on the south side of Chicago. So, in this episode, we're going to break up the show a little bit. We are going to head north to Wisconsin, where we stopped in the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Show. That's right in OshKosh, Wisconsin. And we are in the EAA Fairgrounds, one of the largest airports around. And there was a lot of ice fishing talk going on. So we stopped by, talked to some of our favorite vendors, booths, companies there, and they gave us some fishing tips and talked about some of the new product that they have out this year for ice fishing. And then we repacked the car and took a send all the way up to Lake of the Woods. That's right, one of the most iconic bodies of water in the greater Midwest and in Canada. And definitely a place where a lot of content, TV shows and such have happened with Midwest Outdoors. So it's definitely a place that is special to us. But I wanted to show some other individuals why it's so iconic and special. So we got the gang together. Some of my best buds from the fishing industry. We got the extreme outdoorsman Dylan Grubb, Jay Balls from Blue Jay Outdoors, Carly Winkleman from the Great Winkleman family, and N.A. Speltz, Nathan Speltz, one of the biggest outdoor fishing TikTokers in the country. Not to mention Nicole Stone, who joined us later on. She's an icon when it comes to Lake of the Woods stuff. So we all got together, we dropped some lines down some holes, and we caught some fish, but more importantly, we had some great times. And we got together and talked about the industry. We talked about what it's like to be an influencer or making media in the fishing, hunting realm. Definitely an interesting week. And we got an insight on some of that, and we get to talk to all those individuals towards the end of this podcast, so make sure you stay for that. As for this little guy, new limited edition Fish Daddy fish thermoses. So if you guys are interested in this, we got extra large and large, a little smaller. So DM us, put a message in the comments if you guys want to get your hands on one of these limited edition Fish Daddy mugs. Before we hit the road and go visit the Wisconsin Ice Fishing Show, it is vitally important that we talk about the newest world record. That's right. We have a 70-centimeter sockeye salmon caught out of Alaska by William Neer the Fourth. Got to make sure we get the fourth in there. And William, big bass guy, right? And like me, a lot of his tackles bass fishing. And when he was going up to Alaska, he wasn't sure what he was going to bring. So he packed what he thought could work, and off he went. Well, lo and behold, he catches the world record sockeye salmon on a KVD Strike King swim jig. That's right, not the first thing that comes to mind when fishing for salmon, but hey, maybe this is a new trick in the trade to use. So now I just have to find out which color, because I could see white, red, or pink, I could see a fish eating that. Maybe a big chunk of eggs just rolling down. Maybe that's what it looks like to them. They're not really known to be eating bait fish that time of year in their life. But anyways, it was a very impressive catch. As you guys can see, beautiful colors for the Christmas season. Matches my hat, if I do say so myself. But that is the wrap up from the news this week. Besides that, we've got ice fishing going on, guys. Down here in Chicago, we have a warm trend happening now. Safe ice is all about gone. From here to Milwaukee, once you get to Madison area, I still have reports of 3 to 5 inches of safe ice. Winnebago chain, I know we've seen some vehicles go through the ice, but if you're a walker and use the brain and use your tools, you should be okay in most areas. Just make sure you stay away from any moving water, springs, any warm water discharges. On Lake of the Woods, we did have anywhere from 14 to 18 inches. And on the way home, we stopped in the metropolitan area of St. Paul and Minneapolis, where we found anywhere from about 7 to 10 inches. So, ice fishing's definitely going strong. Our friends to the east, Michigan, Ohio, they still are having the warming trend. We need a little colder for them to get the ice, except if you're in the UP. I've heard some good ice up in Gogebic area. And the Dakotas are very solid. I've heard reports over 20 inches in some parts of northern North Dakota already. So, without further ado, guys, we are going to get into this episode. Like I said, it is an action-packed show. We've got a lot of names, we got a lot of products, got a lot of fishing. So, stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to get right into the action. We'll be right back.
Midwest Outdoors Magazine helps you enjoy the outdoors, giving you the best information on where to go, what to use, and how to use it. With fishing maps marked by the pros, nature notes, in-depth interviews, and much, much more. Your subscription gets you 10 big issues of the best in fishing, hunting, and the great outdoors. Plus, Midwest Outdoors Digital Edition gives you dozens of extra articles. Sign up now at mwomag.com. That's mwomag.com.
All right, everyone. Hey, we are starting right here in the DNR booth because we wouldn't be at a fishing show or talking about fishing if it wasn't for the stocking efforts of the DNR, I feel like.
Yeah, not only the stocking, but management and things like that as well. Habitat projects, we do a lot.
The more I've looked into what you guys do and where some of the money comes from, whether it's from the state or the feds, we're fixing riprap walls to make sure erosion doesn't happen. We're putting in accessible fishing spots for individuals that maybe can't walk. We're stocking, we're doing research, we're tracking fish, seeing where they go and stuff. I mean, so much you guys do.
Exactly, yep.
We're in OshKosh here for the show, for the ice show, and right next to us is this very, very large system of water with Winnebago. And you get a lot of these through there, huh?
Yes, this is a lake sturgeon. We do have a sturgeon spearing season. It's very big around the lake. It's going back for a long time, very big culture around here, and a lot of families have been doing it for a long time. Yeah,
and that's a process. You have to apply for that, or can anyone do it? Can out-of-state people do it? What are we looking at for that?
Yes, anybody can do it. You have to apply for your license by October 31st, and then the sturgeon season is the second Saturday of February and runs for 2 weeks after that.
2 weeks. And, people I know harvest them for meat, but also caviar probably.
That is one thing that you can do with it, yes.
Yes. Why are some other people harvesting it?
Mostly, like I said, it's very big around the lake. Family's been doing it for a long time. Tradition. Yeah. People do a lot with it. They can smoke it, deep fry it, bake it. There's a lot of ways people prepare the fish.
And when a fish gets up to 6 feet long, there's a lot of meat on that fish, huh?
Oh, yeah. We've handled fish over 200 pounds before, so some very large fish.
200-pound fish in fresh water. I'm sure a lot of people that live in the Midwest, especially non-fishermen, probably didn't even know we had something that big swimming around. Mm-hmm. But these can't hurt you. They're not like a shark.
Yeah, they don't have any teeth.
Little sucker mouths underneath.
Yep, they feed mostly off the bottom, filter feed, chironomids, dead fish, things like that.
And speaking of interesting looking critters that people don't see a lot, we have the sturgeon here, but everyone keeps talking about the burbot, the eel pout.
Yes, that's become very popular the last several years. It's also very good tasting fish that kind of is just kind of being discovered within the last 5-10 years and getting very popular, I'd say.
Yeah, I'm sure people have been catching them for a long time, but thanks to YouTube and TikTok and stuff like that, everyone knows now about what's going on in the depths.
Yeah, they're very popular here on Winnebago too. I'd say late February, early March, depending on the year, they start spawning on the reefs, and people have very good success fishing for them. And like I said, very tasty fish. A lot of people call them, well, they're fresh, they're related to a cod, so they're a lot of people bake them and dip them in butter, and they call them like poor man's lobster.
I personally like to boil them in some Mountain Dew and then dip them into some melted butter, and it really is kind of like a mix between a cod and a lobster.
Yeah, I've heard that before, and I've heard Sprite people, or like a white soda people as well.
Absolutely. Well, hey, I want to say thanks for your time. Thanks for all you guys do over there. And it's always good to talk about what's going on under the water. We're all focused about the baits and rods and what's going on above the water, but under the water is pretty good, darn cool too.
All right, thank you.
Thanks for your time. Yep. I am back with Alec here. And Alec, what do you do?
I'm a full-time guide up in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. Also do some YouTube things, some tournament fishing, mostly everything in the fishing aspect you could think of.
You see, Alec's obsessed with fishing, and we got talking, and I'm like, this kid's a lot like I was. And we happen to have probably the same favorite fishing spot.
Oh, yeah.
This place called Door County. I know you guys are probably sick of me talking about it. But I mean, how can you not talk about it? And how can you not love fishing there?
Man, it's a dream come true to live in Sturgeon Bay. The opportunities that we have in our backyard to be able to go from salmon to walleye to trout, perch, everything within 5-10 minutes. It offers a wide variety of things, so you could change up when there's different weather conditions. You could still get people out, still fish no matter what. It's really awesome.
You know, I was there like 2-3 weeks ago before the ice came, and we were going to go out for bass. We ended up completely changing and going for perch. But there's guys trolling for browns in the Gap. There's people trolling for walleye in the River Channel. Yep. I mean, it's like, truly, there's always something going on.
Oh, yeah. Always something to do, always something to catch. We obviously have our hot parts of the season where there's different species. You're like, hey, this is the time of year I need to be specifically on that species. But all year long, it's good for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. If you had to pick, if you could only fish for 1 month in the Sturgeon Bay area, what are you picking?
I'm picking April because of the giant walleyes. As you see, there's a lot of walleye pictures on there. I do that a lot. And also them giant 7 and 8 pound smallmouth coming in at the end of April. And that's when we get jacked up. They start coming into the flats. We're throwing jerk baits. That bite's starting.
So you're telling the people, if they want to have a legitimate chance of catching a PB walleye and smallie in the same weekend, they could do that in one place.
Yes, very possible at the end of April that you'll have a shot at doing both. They're all over the place, and it's a great fishery to come up and try to achieve your goal of getting a PB.
That's awesome. Hey, so before we let you go, ice fishing's a little different, right? Indoor. You're not going to catch many smallies, you know, but you have some more whitefish show up.
Yep.
And those walleye are still there. Some perch can be found depending on if you go to the right harbors and stuff, you know. What's a tip? Safety's so important, especially with the uncertain ice we've had the last couple of years. We're fingers crossed this year's the year, right?
Yeah.
But what's something to keep in mind if individuals are venturing out on that bigger water, you know, when they get a little bit more offshore line, you're not on a little lake or pond anymore?
Okay, I'd say as the biggest thing as a guide, safety. Safety is number one. So obviously we want to get you guys on fish, have a good time, but safety is number one. So always when you're going out, always check the wind. That's the biggest thing on these Great Lakes is watching the wind. If you're fishing the east shore, don't go out on east wind because that ice could break off. You can go floating out there. You're putting others in danger, trying to rescue you. So be very safe doing that. And obviously as you're getting out, especially early ice, make sure you're spud barring everywhere you go. Just because you see a guy out there a couple hundred yards, don't mean that you're going to walk down the same path he did. He might have walked out where it's 4 to 6 inches. You could come across a spot that just froze and is 1 inch. You didn't spud bar because you trusted him, and next thing you know, your life's at risk. You know, even on Lake Poygan here, we got out, tried to do a little fishing out there, and I mean, there's literally up to 10 inches of ice in some areas right here in central Wisconsin, but there's also springs on this lake, and an individual yesterday, they're okay, but an individual yesterday went through on his four-wheeler. He thought there was, 7 to 10 inches because there are in majority of the lake, but you can't trust anything. It's always important. Take precautions.
if you don't know the body of water, go with someone that does. That's why
Yes.
it's perfect to hire a guide.
Yes. Yep. Safety's key. Just make sure you're always checking everything when you're out, especially on the Great Lakes.
All right, well, hey, Alec at Die Hard Angling, pleasure, buddy.
Yes, sir.
And we'll see you maybe for an episode upcoming, right?
Hope to see you guys.
All right, let's go check out another booth here at the show. What's going on, Ray?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, not bad. Stopping by. You were my neighbors all week, so I had to come by the graph booth right away.
Sure, absolutely.
And obviously, awesome suit here. We're going to talk about that in a second.
Sure.
I got some awesome boots over here this weekend. I mean, honestly, one of the most comfortable shoes I've ever put on,
Right.
footwear I've ever put on.
Yeah.
But definitely the warmest I've ever put on. That's without question.
They're crazy warm. Most people that walk by, they see a suit sitting there. They
Yep.
see another pair of boots. There's boots all over the show.
Yep.
We reach out, we put a pair of boots in their hands, one boot, and it's always the same when they get that weight. Then when they find out that they're rated to negative 94 degrees,
Yep.
at less than 2 pounds a pair, we have their attention now.
I'd show the boots right now, but we're sold out.
We
The
are.
boots are sold out.
We are.
But you guys need to understand, Asics and Brooks, they started making shoes lighter, right? Like that was a big craze a few years back.
Right.
And that's not really seen in the boot industry that much,
Right.
right? However, like you said, you hand that boot to me the other day, and I go, this weighs as much as one of those gym shoes, but it is 4 times the amount of material, it would seem.
It is ridiculous. They're made out of a hybrid PVC EVA foam. They're super strong, super lightweight, but most of the issues when you're in a boat for a long day, rocking back and forth, you're on the ice all day long.
Yeah.
You have knee pain, lower back pain,
Sure.
comes up between the shoulder blades. It all stems from the feet.
Sure.
So they put this sole together. It's very therapeutic, eliminates that pain, keeps everything strong with the PVC that's in there, and it is very, very comfortable. Makes it all lightweight. They're amazing. We're very proud of it, and the proof is right there on the table. They were flying out of here.
A little extra shock, a little absorption in those joints,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's like walking on a cloud,
So, a big topic in today's podcast, as it always is for First Ice, is safety.
Yes.
And we're all talking ice fishing because there's been a good bite right down the street here.
It's making me crazy that I'm not out there.
I know. But we've also had inconsistent weather. It rained last night.
Right.
The lake has springs on it and warm water discharges. We've had 2 people go through so far already. Everyone's all right, thank God.
Thank God, yes.
But float suits.
Right.
Okay, I mentioned float suit, and can you talk a little bit about that? Just the
Absolutely.
generic meaning behind the float suit, and then the graph specifically.
Sure. A float suit is a non-Coast Guard regulated flotation device.
Sure.
It is a tool, just like anything else that we use out there on the ice. There's no such thing as safe ice. Our float suits have been around for a while, right? It's nothing new. Everybody's heard of float suits. Grass float suits are just a little bit different. We do have a material inside our cuffs that does seal to skin or gloves,
Okay.
so that you don't take water in.
Very cool.
Graph takes safety to the next level for the simple fact that when you go in the water, no matter what float suit you're wearing, you do take water into that suit.
Absolutely.
When we can block that water from coming in, we just bought you something that no other manufacturer can do, and we bought you time.
Time.
Right? And that's the most important thing. We need to have the time to be able to get that victim. I hate to use the word victim, but that's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
it's your worst day. If you go through, it's one of your worst days ever.
Absolutely.
But let's make it not a tragedy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we buy you that time to be able to get your senses, get yourself, your composure, and think straight to be able to get yourself out and utilize the other tools, the picks, and be able to get yourself safely out of the lake.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Super important,
Sure.
Been talking about it all year because we don't get to have fun if we can't be safe and we can't go out there with peace of mind.
Right. There's never going to be such thing as safe ice.
Correct.
So we have to take the steps and keep in mind, these are all just tools, right?
Yeah.
It comes down to the person that's wearing them.
Yep.
The best defense against bad ice is to stay off bad ice, right?
Absolutely.
Everything else is just a tool, and we just try to offer the best tool on the market that we can.
That's awesome. Before I let you go, we have to pick the brains because we're
Sure.
talking to some of the best ice fishermen in the country.
Oh,
Who we talking to? Yeah, I know. I mean,
I appreciate that.
one tip or trick for the people at home before we leave for this ice season.
Tip and trick I can come up with real quick would be to, if you're fishing for panfish, I would recommend that you use tippet line.
Okay.
With all the lines that are out there, I strongly suggest tippet line. And for a few different reasons. It's designed for cold water applications, stream fishing, trout.
Yep.
It's leader material.
Yep.
It is fluorocarbon, you know. Trout can see very well, so it's very clear. It's made for heavy abrasion because you are fishing streams, but it comes on small 30-yard spools, which most of us, when we're pan fishing, we're less than 90 feet for sure, right? Sure. And they all click together. You can stick 6 pools in your pocket, 1 spool per rod. That's my tip.
Well, there you have it. Tippet line, AKA fly fishing leader line.
Correct.
For your ice fishing applications.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Let's see the rest of the show, guys.
How's it going, Jim?
Hey, pretty good. We got 2 Illinois guys in the heart of Wisconsin. I'm seeing too much dang Packer stuff around here.
And it is Sunday.
I know. We're going to probably lose. We don't play till tomorrow, so I don't have to wait till lose until tomorrow. But hey, it was a great show.
Oh, wonderful show. This is the 2nd year of the Ice Expo here in OshKosh. New in the 2nd year and a new place.
New place. Not often you get to drive on a tarmac. So that's a very interesting experience. We're out here at the EAA Fairgrounds. This is where some of the biggest aviation and air balloon fests happen in the world, Yeah, it's really cool what goes on here. But this weekend, it was all about ice fishing. And 2 shows in a row, St. Paul, now Wisconsin. The ice fishermen are at it. This year, we already have a little ice that we haven't really had the last 2 years.
Yep. Even in Illinois.
I have already ice fished in Illinois.
Awesome.
How great is that, right? Yep. So we're getting into the season. We're here, and last year we got the great Matt Johnson. We talked about glamping and clamping, and little changes this year. But I just want to talk less about all the great products in here, right? Mm-hmm. And more about the mindset when you go out for a long send, whether it's a whole weekend, whether it's overnight, or maybe just a sunrise to sunset day, right? Because I think it's really easy to get complacent with ice fishing. I see so many people go out, they drill a hole, and that's that.
Yeah, but they wouldn't do it in the summertime in their boat, even shore fishing.
Never.
Never. You don't cast in the same spot. You're drifting, you're trolling, fan casting, whatever. You walk 100 down the bank and look for an eddy.
Right. Anything that looks a little more fishy.
Yes.
So why not look for something a little more fishy while you're ice fishing, right?
Yep.
And, the advancements of technology obviously are incredible.
In the last 15 years, from clothing to electronics.
Everything.
Yes. I mean, the lighting that's in this shack.
Yep.
It is now an integral part of the shack. You do not even have to take it out. Back in the old day, you'd string the lights up, and when you're done, you'd have to take them out. This is an integral part that folds up, non-breakable.
Todd, back in my day, we only used the sun for light in our shack.
With your horse to get to the lake?
No, that was your age, Tom. No, but my point is, you want to do a little research before, if you're going to go for a long outing, especially if it's a weekend or a full week. Figure out where those fish were late fall, right? What those transition areas should be, because they shouldn't be too far away first ice.
Oh, where you left them? Most definitely. Anybody that ever fished the Chain of Lakes, Illinois area, and the Channel Lakes is actually comprised of 15 lakes on 45 miles of waterway system. And in the fall, when those fish are stacked, especially your panfish, are stacked in those channels, well, guess first ice, guess where everybody's at and where those fish are. Because you just caught them there maybe a week ago.
Right. Yeah, it's true. And what are some other tips, pointers for the viewers? When it comes to first ice?
Well, first ice, you always have safety.
Yep, always.
First ice safety, and then if you're looking at a body of water in particular, or anywhere in the region, you contact your natural Department of Natural Resources. Mm-hmm. They are a plethora of information from whether it's a size limit, creel limit, and fish cribs. that are put in on the Channel Lakes. The DNR will actually give you the GPS coordinates of those cribs.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So and then you can look at the internet, but you never know if people are truthful or not.
Sure.
Look at postings, but your network of friends, bait shop. I don't wear hats. I don't have one today. I just don't like hats. But how many bait shops that I've walked into to get information, maybe buy some minnows or waxworm spikes, and I spent $25 on a ball cap. Because then this guy knows I'm not serious, and I'm going to just try to take advantage of him.
Sure. Yeah, local knowledge is the best. In fact, I think we're going to go get some local knowledge right now. But before I leave, one thing, Todd, that you've seen in this clam, whether it's here in this house or out on the floor, what's one product you can't wait to use this year?
The Folds of Honor, if anybody's familiar with Folds of Honor, it's an organization that helps veterans and first responders, their spouse or youth, go to college.
Awesome.
And it's a great organization. In a couple, we have suits and 2 different shanties, a flip over and a pop-up with Folds of Honor, and a certain percentage of the proceeds go to help them out.
As a former firefighter and paramedic myself, I very much appreciate that, and I know everyone out there who supports those individuals who make us safe and sound each night would love that too.
That is correct.
For me, to clam, and you're the rep for clam today on this show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, Jim.
Absolutely.
All right, good luck and be safe.
All right, everyone. Well, hey, before we get on the water, I knew I had to stop in the Fish Daddy booth. Andy, what a ride it's been the last year.
It's been my pleasure.
Hey, over that year, I've learned a lot doing this podcast. We've talked to some great people. We've introduced Fish Daddy to quite a few people. And I've learned about our LED technology, and I've learned about biodegradable silicone. But now we got 2 new products here that I want to tell the people about a bit.
Sure, we partnered with Grimm Outdoors to create pike-specific product lineups.
Okay.
One of them is a rig that you can use for pike fishing under a tip-up.
Yeah.
And you can put your...
2 hooks.
Yeah, you can put your standard bait for pike fishing there.
Sure.
And it's called the Grimm Reaper rig.
The Grimm Reaper rig. All right. What else we got here?
Then we have Terabyte, which is one is flavored blood, and the other one is flavored garlic.
Very good.
And if you want to smell them in front of your viewers, you can.
Sure, let's do that.
All right.
Oh my gosh, I think I just became 20% Italian.
Yeah, so it's authentic garlic.
Yes, that is strong garlic, people.
And so what we've been doing with these is you can actually charge them and glow.
Yep.
And the new thing we learned this weekend from another pike angler is they've been putting dabs of this inside the minnow's mouth, and they charge it inside the belly of the minnow.
Oh, really?
Yes. So now you have a little bit of glow on your metal, a lot more scent, and garlic's been proven that
To attract fish?
To attract fish, yeah.
Very good. Now, Terabyte, that sounds familiar, right? Because it's in the biosilicone baits.
Correct.
So now you can make almost any bait, not quite a Fish Daddy bait because it's not biosilicone.
Correct.
But you can have that scent on any of your previously loved plastics.
Yeah, you can any plastics, any hard lure, and any live bait.
Makes anything better, it sounds like.
That's right.
And I want to talk about that rig real quick, the pike rig, So we've got a glowing bead here, so you get some of that staple Fish Daddy attractant through the glow.
Correct.
And then you got some awesome strong hooks here, but I like this. It's not steel. I feel like I'm a big finesse guy, right? I think it comes from the smallmouth fishing and the trout fishing. But even those big critters, I know sometimes it helps to have metal, but when you can get away with it, you get a lot more bites, I feel like.
We have found that finesse pike fishing, you will get more bites with the pike.
Absolutely.
The fluorocarbon leaders in our experience, have caught more fish with them.
Absolutely. Well, this looks like a sweet rig, and I just want to we like to try to give a few tips and tricks out to the people, right? This is a perfect rig to put a hot dog on, too.
Yeah, you can put a hot dog.
Believe it or not, people, and I know some people are like, oh, don't tell the secret, and some people are shaking their head like we're crazy. A hot dog is truly one of the best pike baits under a tip-up, I think, ever.
That's right. A lot of times, if the pike is not in the mood to eat live bait, hot dog put a little garlic
terabyte
terabyte
on
on
there.
it, glow it up, and you're ready to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Andy, another ice season is upon us, already started in some of the country. So obviously, want to, as always, tell everyone, head to fishdaddy.outdoors.com. Check out the whole lineup, whether it's the Micro Spoon, the Dirty Bomb, the Grim Reaper products. You got it all.
That's right.
All right, well, hey, Andy, thanks a lot. And now, guys, we're going to get out on the ice and see if some of the things we've learned and some of the items we got here at the show can be put to work.
Midwest Outdoors Magazine helps you enjoy the outdoors, giving you the best information on where to go, what to use, and how to use it. With fishing maps marked by the pros, nature notes, in-depth interviews, and much, much more. Your subscription gets you 10 big issues of the best in fishing, hunting, and the great outdoors. Plus, Midwest Outdoors Digital Edition gives you dozens of extra articles. Sign up now at MWOMag.com. That's MWOMag.com.
We are at River Bend Resort on Lake of the Woods. We're looking at Canada. Isn't that a beautiful sunrise here? The weather is about to get a little chillier than it's been the last 24 hours, but that's all right, because I have some amazing friends joining me from around the Midwest, and we are going to put on one heck of a show. Whether it's sauger, walleye, perch, or burbot, maybe even a big old pike. We're gonna catch a bunch of fish, and we're gonna have a good time too, and we're gonna show you the amenities that are here at Riverbend Resort to make it all possible, and not only make it possible, but enjoyable. Whether you're 80 or 8 months old, there is something for every age here. It is a family resort. They've got food on site, they've got a bar on site, they've got bait, beautiful cabins, places to stay for everyone, whether you have a small group or a large group. It's really perfect for you guys. So we are going to get in a unique looking vehicle here in a second, and we're going to take a ride out to Lake of the Woods, one of the grandest, greatest lakes in North America. So stay tuned, guys. We're going to go hit the ice. All right, we made it to our house. We got number 4 today. We are out on a reef outside of Pine Island today. We're in about 30 feet of water. We're gonna drop a bunch of baits down. We're gonna use some artificials and some live bait and see how it goes. Come on and see what we're working with. Oh, there we have it, guys. The eel pout, the lawyer, the burbot, whatever you wanna call it. It's got little whiskers on its mouth here, look at that. It's got side fins, bottom fins, looks kind of like an eel. Freshwater cod, really. We're gonna fillet this up later, take the back straps off of it, and boil it in Mountain Dew or Sprite and dip it in butter. It's gonna taste a lot like a lobster. And stay tuned, we're gonna show you guys that towards the end of this podcast on how to clean a burbot.
My name's Mitch from Riverbend. I'm a guide up here. I'm gonna teach you guys how to clean an eel pout here on the Midwest Outdoor Podcast. And I'll try to talk you through how we do it up here on Lake of the Woods. So I first start off by making a cut on the back of the head, kind of by the side fins there. And I come back halfway back to the back, make another cut. And then we usually tell people it's just like cleaning a deer. We just take the back straps off, cut right along that back spine there. And then when you get it to that part, you just flop it out on the meat and just cut right down the rib cage. Then when you get to that, take your knife and just cut the meat off like that, and then you got a nice little chunk there. And you come back and do the other side. And repeat the same process over again. When you're done with that, just slide that over, and then you just take the meat right off the skin. If I can get it. There's one chunk. And you got your 2 chunks there. And then there are some people that will clean the tail meat too, but we only do that if customers ask us to. And that's how we do an eel pellet up here on Lake of the Woods at Riverbend.
All right, we're back. Thanks for sticking through us with that commercial break. I am here with the Johnsons, the owner of Riverbend Resort, that have graciously hosted a bunch of hooligans the last few days, you know. We haven't broke anything, I don't think, yet.
Nothing's broken.
That's good. That's good.
Yet.
Some sleep hours, maybe. We haven't gotten all of our sleep, but that means you're having a good time and catching fish, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Breaking things is kind of the norm up here with the cold temperatures and what's going on, but you guys have been great. It's been a lot of fun hosting you, meeting all you guys, just getting you out on the lake, out on Lake of the Woods, fishing out of our day houses, running the transport during this early ice time frame, and getting you in those houses, getting you fishing. And you guys have been catching a lot of fish.
Absolutely, yeah. No lack of fish. You know, I made sure to tell the guys and girls that we're eating fish at night. So that means if you don't catch them, you're not eating, you know?
Yeah, we don't have fish on the menu because most days fresh fish is coming in. Guides will, when you bring your fish in from your day's catch, the guides will clean them up, ready to eat. They'll bring them into the lodge. You can just come right in, order your fish that you caught that day. We bread them up. We add some tartar sauce, throw them in a basket. You add sides, French fries, tater tots, whatever else you want to put with it, and you get to enjoy your catch that day.
I recommend the flat cut fries. Those were by far my favorite side.
That was Brandy's idea, the flat fries.
Flat fries.
You have one of the largest lakes in the world, literally in your backyard. We're 20 feet away from it, a stone's throw away right now. Does it ever get tiring?
Well, having these 2 phenomenal fisheries, the Rainy River, which is right out the front door, separating Minnesota, Canada, the United States and Canada, is where them fish kind of come in the spring to do their thing, come in the fall to chase shiners, and then we, during this early ice season, are positioning our houses out on the lake. So does it get tiring? It is. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of physicality. The guides we're out every day getting ice prepped, cutting down any ridges, plowing snow, dragging, moving houses, drilling, keeping on fresh ice for all the groups. The lake in itself is just an amazing fishery full of walleye, sauger, burbot, sturgeon, big pike, crappies, perch. I mean, go on and on. And it's just a fishery that when you're out there fishing, you don't know what you're gonna get, which is great because it's like a surprise. But no, it doesn't get tiring. We really enjoy, meeting new people every single year. Randy and I kind of grew up in the resort industry as well. We got to meet friends every week through the summers, and now we get to see the same people that are coming back year after year to experience the ice fishing, the spring fishing on the Rainy, all the great charter fishing out on the lake during the summer, and then repeat. And it's a lot of fun.
So it's year-round fun, year-round work. What's the best part of all of it?
So it's going to sound cliche, but it's the people. We get to meet, like Paul said, new people every week, sometimes every day. We have new people coming in, but we have some of our lifelong friends that we've met through the resort. And it just makes it so much, it's special. It's a special life. We call it a lifestyle. So we've met some of our best friends here, which is amazing.
Yeah. So all these long days, start to finish, and I've seen these guys for 3 days in a row now,
Yeah.
You have to see this guy every day.
Every day.
For so
Every
many
day.
hours. And
Every day.
your son works here?
Yes. So actually both of our boys work
Both
here.
your boys
Yep.
work here?
Yep.
And you have to see them
Every
day.
It's awesome.
And all 3 men have to follow orders.
From me. It's the best.
I mean, it's got to be the best. And you only want to kill them how often,
Never. Like it's actually great. Like I said, it's a lifestyle. So we wake up. Our youngest son, Matthew, he's a guide, so you guys got to have him as a guide for a couple days. Our son, Ryan, cooks at night, so we get to hang out with him at night when we're checking people in, doing the whole, drink service, food service, where you guys are doing tonight.
Yep.
And so it's very special to be able to work and live and play with our family.
See, it's very simple. If I asked anyone that question that lived in the metropolitan areas, they would say yes, they drive me up a wall. But there's something in the water here at Lake of the Woods, and it causes peace, and it's true. You go out there, and it doesn't matter really what's going on, what's right, what's wrong, what you got back at home. shoot, even -5 degrees yesterday, and me and you were sitting outside because the bite was good, and we were unbothered.
Unbothered. That's a good one. Unbothered.
Unbothered. That is, you come here to get away. And I have to say this, not everyone is a beach person. Not everyone wants 100 degrees down in Florida or the Bahamas. And I have to say, if you want to get away from it and experience truly something different, come up and try Lake of the Woods and give Riverbend Resort a call, huh?
Absolutely.
It's pretty special.
Absolutely. Now, before I let our lovely hosts go, there is something special for you guys at home, and you want to tell them?
I'll tell them.
All right, go ahead and tell them.
All right, thanks, Jim. So, in appreciation of working with Midwest Outdoors, up here with a great group of content creators and capturing some magical moments out on the lake. These sleepers, right? Everyone's heard of a sleeper house. Ice camping. You're out on the lake. You're catching the last hour of light. You're there first crack of dawn, getting the bite right as the sun's coming up. Everyone loves the ice camp. You're under the stars. You're unbothered, right?
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give away a 3-night, 3-day sleeper house package for up to 4 people. You're gonna be out under the stars, the northern lights, with the fish on the ice camping.
Yeah.
So you go to riverbendresort.com/giveaways. Simple, easy form, name, email, easy. Hit submit, you're in. We're gonna run this giveaway up until Sunday, January 5th at 11:59 p.m.
Yep.
And then we're gonna draw a winner. We'll announce it on all the social platforms.
Absolutely.
Everyone will know who won this package, right?
Yep.
So then the stay dates are going to be February 16th to March 9th. So
All right.
3 nights, 3 days, sleeper package up to 4 people. It's like a $1,200 value.
Absolutely. That's an awesome value. And especially whether you're an experienced ice fisherman or a newbie, this is truly a perfect package for you guys. And you'll find out if you love it or not real quick out there, you know. But usually you do, right?
You do, and these new sleepers that we have built and are starting to build the fleet up with, they're full of everything that you need. I mean, there's memory foam cushions on the beds. There's a 3-burner cooktop with an oven. You can cook pizzas out there. There's a TV. I mean, even if you don't have fishing gear, that's all right. We have fishing gear that can be made available as well. And we do all the work, so you don't have to. You show up, you fish, you have fun. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And sign up.
Sign up. We're actually gonna we just showed you guys the link on the screen, but the link is also available to click on and go right to it, right in the description below. So please check that out. And we'll have this opportunity on social media as well. Hey, again, guys, I want to thank you so much for having all of us. I know it's a lot, but thanks for getting us on the ice. Back at home, we don't even have ice, and we're driving cars out here. Yep. So for anyone that doesn't know what a sleeper house is now, I'm going to go show them, all right?
Awesome.
Absolutely. You're going to have fun, Jim.
Yeah.
All right, guys, come on with me. Let's see what it's like to camp on Lake of the Woods. Guys, here we are in the sleeper. This is your home base or your hotel on the ice. Truly, they make it possible so that here at Riverbend, all you need is your pillow for your bed and a rod so that you can get to the water, lock this up, jump in bed, and start jigging. It's that simple. In fact, there's even a flat screen TV and a stove I'm looking at, a bathroom just right outside the door. It's all here. Whether you want to catch eel pout, walleye, or even a sturgeon, you can do that all right here at Lake of the Woods. So if you guys want to check out more about the sleeper house, the day house, or any of the accommodations here at Riverbend Resort, check out riverbendresort.com. And stay tuned. We're going to be right back after a quick commercial break.
Midwest Outdoors Magazine helps you enjoy the outdoors, giving you the best information on where to go, what to use, and how to use it. With fishing maps marked by the pros, nature notes, in-depth interviews, and much, much more. Your subscription gets you 10 big issues of the best in fishing, hunting, and the great outdoors. Plus, Midwest Outdoors Digital Edition gives you dozens of extra articles. Sign up now at mwomag.com. That's mwomag.com.
All right, everyone. Well, hey, we are back at Riverbend Resort in, the dining hall, the party room. Yeah. We're all hanging out. And hey, we are here with quite the group here. They've been posting this last week, but you guys wouldn't know that if you haven't followed them yet. So we're going to introduce them real quick, starting with the young lady at the end, and then we're going to pass that mic down, and you guys are going to know who exactly we're about to talk to today.
Hi everybody, I'm Carly Winkleman. Been in the outdoors for a long time. You can follow me at Carly Winkleman on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
I'm Nathan Speltz from NA Speltz, and been doing YouTube for I think 11 years now. Mainly target pike and muskie, and you can find me on pretty much every social platform.
Hey everybody, Jay Ball, Blue Jays Outdoors. I've been doing this whole social media fishing thing for probably about the last 4 or 5 years, but I've been actually fishing for probably close to 35, so yeah.
What's going on, guys? Dylan Grubb here with Extreme Outdoorsman. You probably know me from Lake St. Clair. I'm always out there smallmouth fishing. I'm known as a smallmouth guy out there, so check it out. Extreme Outdoorsman. I'm from Michigan, so here's Jim O'Neill.
So yeah, guys, these are, first of all, my friends, but also some of the, in my opinion, the best influencers throughout the Midwest. And here at Midwest Outdoors, we like to focus on the Midwest, right? And we all congregated in one area at the very top of the Midwest, at Lake of the Woods here. And we've been setting hooks for the last 2 days. We've been laughing our butts off and eating some good grub too. So we'll send in reverse order now. I just kind of wanted to ask you guys, I know a few of you, this is the first time you're that far out on the ice or on that thick of ice, or whether it's the first time you caught a different species. So just a little 2 to 3 minute recap. What do you guys thought of your weekend so far?
Yeah, it's definitely been super interesting. I've never came up here to Lake of the Woods. I'm from Michigan. I've always wanted to fish Lake of the Woods, and I've came here looking to catch a big northern pike, but I actually caught one of my biggest walleye ever. I think it was 24 inches, so that was super special. I'm really excited that I caught that fish. It was pretty cool.
Very good.
Yeah, this is definitely a first for me, Jim. I definitely appreciate the opportunity to come out here and beautiful Riverbend Resort. And I've spent a little bit of time on Saginaw Bay walleye fishing, and it's a little bit different fishery. The Saginaw Bay fishery is a lot cleaner water, a lot clearer, and the bite's a little bit different. And it's actually pretty interesting how powerful pink is actually out here. Some of you probably may not know, but obviously, as you can tell, I love the color pink. It's one of my favorite colors to fish with, and it's amazing to me just how many fish all day long, from walleye to sauger to even, was it burbot, I think? Yeah, burbot I caught. They actually love the color pink up here. But it's a little bit more tannic water, a little bit dirtier. But overall, we've had a great week. We've caught a lot of fish. Maybe not the bigger size we're looking for, but that 24-incher you caught today, it was really cool to see you catch that. But yeah, just an awesome fishery, great people, really good hospitality, and it's a really good fishery. So if you guys get a chance to come up to Lake of the Woods in the northernmost part of the Midwest, definitely it's on the bucket list for sure.
It was a blast. Started out first day, got up here, quite the interesting drive, and great place to stay. We had a lot of fun.
We'll get to that maybe.
Hung out, ate some dinner, ate some incredible food, and just started out the trip and had a great time. Got out on the water and pretty much fish after fish.
Yeah.
Not the biggest, but they're out there. You got to go through a lot of small ones, but if you're looking for a place to catch fish and not have to worry, I mean, this is the place to be.
Yeah, that's a good
Don't think I've ever caught so many sauger and walleye in one day, especially during the day. I'm used to catching them sunset, sunrise, but here, I mean, I felt like almost the best bite was just middle of the day.
Middle of the day.
Sure. It was an incredible place. Saw a lot of fish, saw some sturgeon, burbot, hooked some big ones that happened to find their way off at the hole, but great time, great food, great people, and just an awesome time.
Absolutely.
It was a great experience here at Riverbend on Lake of the Woods. I've been to a couple of different resorts, and this one is incredibly unique, very family orientated, and it brings out hot pizza to the day house, which was a super cool experience. Besides that, I mean, fish after fish, like Nathan said, which kept us busy all day long. And one of my favorite parts was bringing the fish in at night, being able to eat them, fresh catch. So great place, great people, and a good place to come on Lake of the Woods.
That is a great thing about it. Like you said, any age really can come up here and fish. Whether it's, even if they're too young to know how to really jig or something, they can set a rattle reel or a set rod. I know you guys caught a lot of fish on your dead stick, right?
That's like all we did, pretty much.
Yeah, and I caught most of my fish jigging. So it really, you know, it depended on, pretty much you can catch them how you want to.
Yeah, that's
you
how
know?
I caught my biggest fish of the trip.
Yeah?
Yeah, on the dead stick, so.
Hey, that's awesome. And we caught fish also on plastics. We caught fish on hard body baits with no live bait. We caught fish on flatheads, shiners, and rainbows. So, you know, sometimes they serve all this different type of bait at the bait shops and stuff, because some weeks it really depends what they're really feeding on. But early ice and late ice, you know, we're here on early ice right now. Again, like you said, we're not showing off that 40-inch pike or 30-inch walleye we wanted, but it's a numbers game. It's a time game. You spend enough time out here, you spend enough, you know, days, you'll catch something like that. We had 2 days, not a whole lot of time, and not full days, because we got to do stuff like this. We're podcasting, making videos.
Hanging out, having fun.
Absolutely. But before our dinner's served, I wanted to thread it back one more time, all right? And take your time or not, but I want to hear your guys' best ice fishing story that you have. And I know I've heard some tidbits. We have to keep it PG-13, but we can have some fun, so let them know.
All right, so I would say my best ice fishing memory is in the Boundary Waters sight fishing for brook trout. That was an incredibly unique experience. It was spur of the moment for me, but it's challenged everything I had inside of me to get out there and do that. I had to ski in across 3 lakes to get to the lake I was going to fish. I had to saw a huge hole in the ice, sit there and do something I'd never done before, and all of that totally changed my perspective. So that's definitely one of the best memories out there for sure.
I'd have to say recently, a couple weeks ago in Manitoba, sight fishing giant trout. I mean, it was incredible fishing a lake that seemed untouched with a great group of guys, and drilling a big hole, doing something not a lot of people do, shallow water. Being able to just see those fish come up is exhilarating. I mean, feeling the bite's something, but actually watching them eat, especially a giant fish like that, there's just nothing like it. I mean, fishing's about making memories, and that was quite the memory.
This is a tough one.
Yeah.
You realize that.
I know, there's a lot of days out on the ice.
When you ask that question, the first memory that actually came back is one from a long time ago. I mean, this is like early 90s, so I was probably like maybe 8 or 10.
Very good.
And I remember, you know, back before we had really good insulated boots, jeans, we had multiple layers of jeans and long johns, right? But I was actually crappie fishing with my dad at night on a lake close to my hometown of Mount Pleasant. And the night started off by me stepping in a hole. So from my knee to my boot is soaking wet, freezing cold. But I still remember this like it was yesterday. And we were crappie fishing at night with the old stick bobbers, you know, the old styrofoam stick bobbers. Oh, yeah. And I can still remember this 15-inch crappie that I caught. The bobber just like sunk down below the ice a little bit and just creeped down. Like I can still picture this now, maybe almost 30 years ago. So when you're like, hey, what's the best ice fishing memory? That's like the one that first came up. Yeah. Is that memory from probably well over almost 30 years ago. But it's just crazy to think that 30 years ago I started doing this and I'm still doing it, you know, today. And I even watched those bobbers going down this week on the dead stick. It's
They're
like
giggling like crazy, like little kids.
It's like your little kid, you know. So I think that's what it's all about, like you said, is making the memories.
Absolutely.
For me, I think, to be honest, I actually went out to a lake that I haven't fished a lot, and I got out there right before dark, and I went and set up a bunch of tip-ups actually for big northern pike, and I invited my twin brother out. I got out there early. I set out all the tip-ups, and my brother was just showing up, my twin brother, Hunter Grubb. And it was really cool. He was just walking out on the ice. He doesn't get to do a lot of fishing or anything. I'm always out there trying to catch all these cool species. And he got out there, a flag came up, and I was like, you might as well get the first flag. And he ran over there. We were all excited. And he pulled up one of the biggest northern pike he's ever caught. So that was really special to me to get my twin brother on a really big pike. It was pretty cool. I love seeing other people catch big fish. So I thought it was pretty cool to get my twin brother on a good one.
Absolutely. So, as you guys hear, ice fishing brings good memories. So be careful, be smart, but go ice fishing. Take a loved one or a friend ice fishing, because it's different than fishing, because I feel like you have more intimate time to talk, especially with someone, you know. Yeah. Less wind usually, especially if you're in your shack. God knows if you're outside, you know, the last few days we've learned you can get some conditions. But as long as you're smart and, you know, you go out with some experience, or you learn at least, you're open to learning and stuff. Ice fishing is one of my favorite things, truly, because the nature experience you have, the uniqueness, right? You get to walk on water. I get to say you get to play God for a couple months, you know? I mean, it's truly breathtaking out there, especially when you're up here. You see the bald eagles, you hear the wolves at night. I mean, we're on the Canada border, you know, northern Minnesota. It doesn't get much rural than that. Earlier, my coworker Greg Jones was with us, and I said, Greg, I might need to run to Walmart for something. And he said, okay, that's 4 to 5 hours, Jim. I mean, that's crazy. I just don't think about that, right? I mean, I can go to truly 2 different Walmarts within 10 minutes, different directions from my house. Yeah. So when you're up here, it's you, the fish, the nature, and your comrades. So I do appreciate you guys for coming. I hope you had a great trip. And I think everyone but Jay has been on the podcast in the last year. We just went over a year. So I want to thank you guys all for making one of my dreams possible, you know. And next time, who knows, maybe we'll escape the Midwest, find ourselves on a beach somewhere or something, all right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, everyone. Well, hey, for Dylan, Jay, Nate, and Carly, I'm Jim O'Neill, everyone. I hope you enjoyed watching this week's episode of the Midwest Outdoors podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Come back. We'll be talking more ice fishing with some more great guests. Until next time, guys, tight lines. We'll see you on the water.